again. Right, so we are not going to be discussing what model verbs are. If you had missed the last week's session, please go to your calendar, find the YouTube playlist link there, and access the session so as to understand what model auxiliary verbs are and how do they function. Right. So we are only going to take up the questions for the session since the discussion already happened. On your screen, you can see a set of questions. I think we have about 30 odd questions here. So we are going to solve them one by one and see if you have understood the use of the model verbs, right? So for people who missed the last class, please go to the YouTube playlist link on your calendar and watch the session. Or if you've already watched the video lectures and you know model verbs very well, then well and fine. Okay. First question here, we have got plenty of time. You dash hurry. We are only looking at the nine core model auxiliaries, right? So which are basically, you just give it here in the chat. So you have can, could, then you have will and would, then you have shall and should, then you have may and might, and then you have must. So these are the nine core models. We are using, for the questions you have here, we are going to be using one of them. Or if there are questions which have, say, some other model works, then we'll see them as and when we look at those questions, right? So mostly we are going to only see if we can fill one of these model auxiliaries because I don't think we have anything beyond that. Yes, I know there are semi-model verbs that are discussed in the lectures like have to, need to, is going to, ought to, etc. If we have so those questions coming up, then we'll look at them in the questions itself. Okay. So we'll begin with the exercise then. The first question you have here, you've got plenty of time, you dash hurry. So you tell me what you are going to use and then tell me why you are using it.
You should.
You have got
Ma'am,
plenty of time.
can't we use negative model verbs like model auxiliary?
Yeah, we can use, definitely. Negative forms of any of this that you see here. But for that matter, there is one model verb which does not have a negative. Do you know which one? Most of the model verbs will have their negatives in short forms, in contracted forms, right? For example, can and couldn't. Usually, you do not write cannot or could not. Whenever you are negating a model verb, you usually write it in its contracted form, like you see in the chat here. Can, couldn't, right? Or what is the negative for will? Negative form for will
Own,
would be
own.
won't, right? Won't, yes. And would be definitely couldn't. So this is another. Oh, sorry for the typo. It's wouldn't. Then for shall,
Shan't.
shan't. Shan't. And should would be shouldn't, right? Then how about may? May. Do we say mayn't?
No, ma'am.
So we can't. This is one form which will not have a contracted form. It has a negative form, but it does not have a contracted form or a contracted form, short form like you see in the other cases. You simply say may not. Okay? How about might? Is mightn't like an option? Can we say mightn't? Mightn't?
I, I think it does have
Ah,
this.
you can say mightn't, but then it is not very commonly used, right? You don't see its expression in the regular conversations, but grammatically, it is not wrong to write mightn't. So mightn't is also like an insistent contracted form. Then the last one we have is must. Must definitely has contracted form, and that is mustn't, right? Mustn't. So yes, these are your contracted forms for the model verbs, right? So you can use yes any of those. First sentence. What do you think is a good supply? You've got plenty of time. You dash hurry.
You shouldn't worry. You shouldn't hurry.
You
You've
couldn't
got.
worry.
It's not worry. It's hurry. So
Yeah, hurry.
you've got plenty of time. You not wouldn't, not. Couldn't. Shouldn't looks like an okay answer here. Shouldn't hurry. So, what do you mean this as? If you're using shouldn't hurry, then what is the meaning that it gives? I think last time we discussed the core meanings for all of the model verbs. I'm using shouldn't.
End of advice or
Ah,
obligation.
it's kind of a suggestion, right? It's a suggestion. So you've got plenty of time. You shouldn't hurry. Which means you're suggesting to you have a lot of time. I would suggest that you don't hurry, right? That's the meaning. Um, Second one, okay, any other possible answers? You think something else can also come up here? Then any other fancy, say, semi-modals? You have semi-modal words because I know that is also discussed for your lectures, right? Semi-modals will include, you know, things like this. Need to, have to, uh, is going to, ought to, supposed to. These are all examples of what we call as semi-models. Right? So semi-models are also model verbs, but uh, as opposed to model verbs, your core model auxiliaries, these can carry tense. Right? So, for example, have to can also be written as has to and had to. Is going to, are going to. Okay, so were going to, was going to. You can have tenses to it, as opposed to your core model auxiliaries. Core model auxiliaries don't carry tense, but semi models can take tense. Okay, so you can choose from these also, right? This is also another set of models you have. Any other options you think for the first question? Shouldn't is one option when it means as a suggestion. Anything else? When we say needn't,
You must hurry.
you must hurry. No, if
Uh,
you've got plenty of time, why will you hurry? Doesn't make sense.
yes, ma'am. Yes.
When I say needn't, you needn't work, hurry. You've got plenty
You
of time. You
needn't
needn't,
need.
need not, or needn't hurry is also another answer that is possible. It's a semi-model supply. Okay? So needn't hurry is again, a negative form for need or need to. So need not hurry. So needn't hurry. Okay. Second one, there's a knock at the door. I'm expecting Seema. It dash be her.
Could and should. I think both will work.
Okay.
Could will give as a suggestion and should
Should is
as.
not a suggestion. So in this context, can we use a suggestion? Suggestion does not fit this
Mm,
context. But the
uh,
other answer which you gave, could can fit, right? It could be her. Possibility is okay here.
yes, ma'am.
Possibility is okay here, but not suggestion. Suggestion, the context is not suitable for giving suggestion. There's a knock at the door. I am expecting Seema. It's more like, you're giving possibility. So it could be her. Anything else that you can use?
Should. Weak obligation.
Uh-huh. Weak obligation, no, not in this case.
It might be her.
It might be her. Okay, so weak possibility, okay, it might be her, you can say that as well. So it could be her, it might be her. You can also say it must be her. Why? In this case, actually, the must answer is more suitable. I'll tell you why, but can you try? Because look at the sentence. There's a knock at the door. I'm expecting Seema, right? So you're sort of making a guess, right? When you have to do a guesswork, usually you use the model verb must, right? It must be him. So it basically means that you're expecting somebody and you are sort of, making a guess on that. So when you're making a guess, then you can use must. So you could say could or might also, but you can additionally also say must. right? Particularly in situation where you have things like this, right? See, I'm expecting somebody. When the declaration is already made that you're expecting somebody, then you can use the word must, the modal verb must, to show that you are guessing something, right? So this is one use of must. Please keep that in mind, especially for the day-to-day conversations in English. This expression is very important for you to understand. Okay, third one. I can't get my laptop to work. I can't get my laptop to work. It dash be out of order.
Maybe.
It may, but where is be? Okay, may be out of order. Strong possibility. Okay, maybe out of order. Any other answers? Sorry, just a minute. Ah, any other answers?
Might.
Same thing. See, I can't get my laptop to work. This one again is, giving you some kind of certainty, right? You know what is not working. So again, you can make the guess here. You can say it must be out of order. Okay. Can't take it. It must be out of order. Again, making guess, right? Your answer is also right. It may be out of order. You can also additionally use the answer. It must be out of order. Okay. Okay. Now, next one is what is yeah. Dash, I ask you a question. Dash, I ask
Can
you.
I?
Can I ask you a
Can,
question?
could, both.
Yes. Can, could. Can I ask you a question? Yes, correct. Could I ask you a question? Again, correct. Could will only make the context a little polite. That's all. Okay. Any other answers?
Shall I
You can
ask
also
you
say,
question?
shall I ask you a question? Okay. You're seeking
May
permission. Yes, you can do that as well. Shall I ask you a question? Yes.
may I ask
Can
you
you
a
use?
question?
Correct, correct. May I ask you a question? That's also correct. An extremely formal situation, right? May I ask you a question? Yes, that's also possible. Okay. Now, fifth one. That was excellent work, but I dash do it without you. That
I
was
can't
excellent
do
work,
it without you. I can't.
I could do it without you.
but no, not could. Definitely not could because then it will make the meaning wrong. But I dash do it without you.
I can't,
But
ma'am.
I not can't. You'll have to use couldn't. But I couldn't have done it. Okay, I think there should be something else. Not couldn't, not can't. There is something else that needs to come here. Yeah, I think couldn't can come. That's right, but not can. I'll tell you why can't come. It's a key. What is the
I
first part of the sentence? That was excellent work. Okay. So in some sense, you need to account for the past form of the action here. So can't is not a direct answer that you can use in this case. Then you'll have to use couldn't. But I couldn't do it without you. Alternatively, you can also say, but I wouldn't
wouldn't.
do it. Correct. Wouldn't
But
do it without you. What is
also,
the difference though?
we can use may not.
But I may not do it without you. Yeah, but not exactly right. But I may not do it without you is not absolutely correct, but okay. The more appropriate answers for both the given situation would be couldn't and would. Can you tell me what would be the difference? I use couldn't and would. What is the difference?
In couldn't, and then
Couldn't and wouldn't, right? So I said you could either say I couldn't, but I couldn't do it without you, or another answer is but I wouldn't do it without you.
couldn't is saying like he will not be able to do it without him, and wouldn't is
Hmm.
like willingly, like
Uh,
he will not do it
ah,
without him.
hmm. Okay. Okay. So which means in the case of couldn't, it is more about the person's lack of ability to do it, right? Without the other person. Yeah, correct? So, but I couldn't do it without you is basically saying that, without you, I would not have been able. I wouldn't have the ability to do it. But in case of wouldn't, it would be more like saying that the person would not have the willingness to do the work without the person consent, right? So the difference is of, in case of couldn't, it is about the ability of the person to do something, and in wouldn't, it is the willingness of the person to do that. Okay, so this is the difference. Keep that in mind. Okay, sixth one, she dash be 35. She looks older than that.
Must guess.
No, not must. Read the other sentence also so that it becomes, a meaningful application. She must be 35. She looks older than that is
He
not.
might be 35.
Really? Read it. Read it further.
She would be.
She would be 35. She looks older than that. No.
She may
Answer.
be 35.
No. See, look at the second sentence. She looks older than that. She dash be 35. So basically, this person is negating the idea that somebody is 35. Okay.
Should
So
be.
look at the second sentence. She looks older than that. Can. Yes, correct. She can't be 35. Remember the sentence that we discussed last time? It can't be a virus, right? Certainty, expression of certainty. So you use negative of can to express certainty. She can't be 35. She looks older than that. If she looks older than that, then definitely she cannot be 35, right? So that's the context. She can't be 35. She looks older than that. Okay. Just a minute. Scrolling down a bit. Okay, I dash go to work on Saturdays. It's my day off. I dash go
I
to work.
might.
I
I
might go,
can't.
but it's your day off. It's your day off. Why would you?
I won't. I can't.
You can't go to work on Saturdays. It's my day off. No, it's not about ability. It's a day off. So it's nothing to do with ability. So no can't.
Ma'am, would not.
Okay. I wouldn't go to work on Saturdays. It's my day off. Okay. You can still take it. So this basically means you don't have the willingness to go on Saturdays because it's your day off. Okay. Any other answers? Some obvious answers. It's your day off. So
I won't, ma'am.
I won't go to work on Saturdays. It's my day off. Okay. Fine. It's the same thing as I wouldn't go. There is no much of a difference. It's just that wouldn't is like a more polite way of putting it. There's another
Couldn't.
word that you can use. Wouldn't and this thing is fine. Won't can be used with the same meaning in this context.
I
You can
couldn't.
also say, I couldn't go. No, not couldn't. Again, you are bringing it back to the realm of ability. So if it is day off, then there is no question of ability. You can also say, I needn't go to work on Saturdays. Right? So remember, don't forget the semi-modal verbs. You have that those as well. This is an obvious thing. So I needn't go to work on Saturdays. It's my day off. Okay. No need to go because it's a day. So that is also another option that you can use along with won't and wouldn't and all. Eighth one, Tom has given me a letter to post. I dash forget to post it.
I shouldn't.
I shouldn't forget to post it. Okay, that is my answer. Any other answers? Have you?
I can't.
I can't. Okay. You cannot forget. Yes, that also makes sense. So, can't, that means you should certainly not forget. Okay, you can say can. You can say shouldn't to say that to give yourself something like a self-imposed advice. Okay. There's something called a self-imposed obligation, right? So I think I did make a note of that. You can take that. Yeah, sure. Self-imposed obligation. There's one more thing that we There's a model verb that we use for self-imposed obligation. It's a very weak form of obligation. We discussed it last class. So, okay, this person has given you a letter, but this is a weak obligation, right? So you ideally should not, but then forget. But then if you forget also, it's not like a huge problem because you're not socially bound to it. So weak form of self-imposed obligation. You can use must, right? Mustn't. Mustn't forget to post it. I mustn't forget to post it. Okay? The other answer you gave is okay. I can. That's also fine, not wrong. Alternatively, you can also use the model expression mustn't forget to post it. Okay, keep that in mind as well. Okay. Ninth one, Anne stayed in bed this morning because she dashed go to work. Anne stayed in bed this morning because she dashed go to work. This is an ability question.
Couldn't.
Needn't.
She not needn't. Yes, she needn't go to work. Okay, needn't, yes, we can use. She needn't go to work. She couldn't go to work. Yes, that's also possible. Any other answers? Okay, I think these two answers should be fine for that. Next one would be he dashed play chess when he was young. Yeah,
He must.
I like these kind
He
of
could.
questions. He could play chess when he was young. What other cannot? He must. Must is wrong. He could play chess when he was young. Any other answers? He could play.
Ma'am,
Chess.
but you said na ma'am, like for guessing we can use must.
But what is the guessing here? There is no context for you to guess. The other case was there's a knock at the door. I was expecting Seema. It must be her, right? So you have a context to guess here. Here you don't have a context to guess. That's why
Yeah,
you
okay.
don't use must. Okay? Yeah. So he could play chess when what's the thing when he was young. What other option do you think can go here? Think about it.
He's supposed to.
He's supposed to know. It's a game. There's nothing called supposed to. So you can also say he would play chess when he was young. Okay. So what is the difference? But
But
so the
ma'am, would
first one,
will go
whenever
in little future, right?
no, there is nothing future. See, when you say could, he could play chess when he was young. See, could is also, remember, also used to show ability, right? Second, we discussed about secondary meanings in the last class. Although can is the model verb, which is primarily used to show ability, could is also used to express ability. Okay, so he could play chess when he was young is a statement which means that someone had the ability to play chess when they were young. Okay, and when I say he would play chess when he was young, what does it mean? Is it ability? It is not ability. More than ability, what I am trying to talk about is a uh, reference to a repeated action, okay, or an activity that used to happen regularly. So he would play chess when he was young. The meaning is this person used to play chess regularly. This was a habit or a habitual action or a repeated action for this person when the person was young. But when I say he could play chess when he was young, I mean to say that this person uh, had the ability to play chess when this person was a young chap, right? So that means not anymore. Now the person doesn't have the ability. As a young child, this person had the ability to do that. So that is what could means. Would mean that this playing chess was a repeated action for this person, a regular action for this person as this person was a young, as this person was young. Okay, so that's the meaning. Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, no? Okay. 11th one, you dash drive a car when you're 18.
You could drive a car.
Okay, you could drive a car, you can drive a car. Any other answers?
You have to.
You have to. Why will you force somebody? There's nothing have to. Okay, yeah, taken out of the context, maybe if somebody is instructing, then yes, but that should not be your immediate answer.
Can will work too.
Can, yes, can and could both you can use. What is it?
Ma'am, we
Mostly,
are
I think
unable
it
to
is,
see a screen.
you can't see. Oh, okay, okay, just a moment. Ah, I think there is a network error. So you probably have it's okay. All right, I'll just leave the question for you in the chat. Don't worry about that. So the answer for this one would be can or could. Okay, you can drive a car when you're 18, you could drive a car when you're 18. Next one would be,
Ma'am, your screen disappeared.
I know that. That's what I just told you. I'll leave the question in the chat. There's a network error on the computer that's displaying the screen for straight. Jack spends the whole day. Just look at your chat for the question. Just walking around. He dash have a job. Okay, this is your question. Jack spends the whole day just walking around. He dash have a job.
He might not.
What do you? He
Should
should.
have.
He might have a job. No, he spends the whole day just walking around. Then it's not might. Right?
Ma'am, I said might not.
He might not have a job. Okay. Okay. Let's say we repeat might not. Any other answers?
May not.
Won't.
Uh, he won't have a job. Won't have a job doesn't look like to me.
He doesn't have a
Uh,
job.
doesn't is not a model word. We can't use that. We are looking at model words, right? Yeah. Can we say he can't have a job?
No, ma'am, we can't use that
Why?
because can't is confirming that he doesn't have job. But we can
That's
say is
what
like
he keeps.
may and might.
So look at it this way, no? So you are saying that this person keeps walking around all the time, and you are saying that this guy certainly doesn't have a job, so he can't have a job. That's why he is moving around. What do you think is? Do you think that meaning fits? I think it does. So, what was the question again? Sorry. Uh, Jack spends the whole day just walking around. He can't have a job. So this is like a expression of certainty. I'm sure this guy has no other job. Nothing to do. No job. So Jack spends whole day just walking. So in that context, I can use can. Can't is a
Isn't it?
so can't here is not used as a ability thing, right? Can't here is used to show certainty. Like something like saying it is not possible for him to have a job. If he did, then wouldn't have walked around like this. Okay. Okay, so can't is one answer. Anything else on your part? Think about it. For the until then, you just take this as the answer. Can't have a job. He can't have a job. Okay? If he did, he would have not been walking around. That is what the meaning is. Okay. Might not. Okay, he might not have a job. Might not is fine. Yes, we can use might not. Additionally, we can
Might
also
not,
use
may
can.
not.
Not may not, because may not, he may not, okay, yeah, may not. Actually, yeah, both may not and might not may be a possibility here. But I still go for the answer can. That fits the context much better than may not or might not. The problem with may not and might not is they're usually used to show degrees of possibility. But with a sentence like this, it's difficult to determine the degree of the possibility of this person not having job, because it almost is a certain thing. If someone is moving around, there is no question of high or low possibility. It's more like, you're sure this person doesn't have anything to do. That's why they're walking around for no reason. But I would say may not or might not is not like an appropriate response there. I think can't is what we should be using in this case. Okay. Sorry for the network interruption. I hope it will be back in another 1 or 2 minutes. Until then, I'll leave the question for you in the chat. So next one is, when I was in school, I dash do a handstand, but now I am too old. Full stop. I do one anymore. Okay, so the question is there in your chat. When I was in school, I dash do a handstand, but now I am too old. I dash do one anymore. What's a handstand? You know what a handstand means?
Yes, ma'am. Standing on your both hands.
Yes, handstand. Correct. Okay. So the question here, when I was in school, I dash do a handstand, but now I am too old. I dash do one anymore. Ability, this
I
is
was in
more,
a
right?
school. I could do a handstand.
Correct. I could do a handstand, right? Ability. When you were in school, you were able to do handstand. So when I was in school, I could do a handstand, but now I am too old. I dash do one anymore. So you negate it, negate the ability. But now, right now, you don't have the ability. So opposite to that, I can't do one anymore, right? I can't do one anymore. So I could do a handstand. I can do one anymore. All right. Straightforward answer. There's nothing to worry too much. Okay. Next one is, okay, read it. Oh, I think the network is back. Let me try and study. Yeah, should be visible now, I guess. Okay. When this one we finished, the next one is, my mother keeps telling me that we dash wash our hands before we sit down at the dinner table. My mother keeps telling me that we dash wash our hands before we sit down at the dinner table.
Must.
We must, right? We must
Should.
wash our hands. So necessity. This is a necessity situation. So must. The model verb that we use to show necessity is must. Okay. Next one is, you dash forgot to turn off the lights when you go to bed. Again, is this what kind of situation is this? Is this an advice or
Disbelief?
suggestion, or is it like a uh,
Asking,
like a
ma'am.
Disbelief.
not belief? Okay. Is it obligation?
Can I see your passport?
No, ma'am.
So, no, sorry, what is the answer again?
Well, should not.
Can I
You
see your
shouldn't, okay,
passport?
you shouldn't forget to turn off the lights when you go to bed. Um, okay, so should is usually when you are giving advice, yes, okay, so in that sense, we can take it as shouldn't. Any other answers? Can I say mustn't forget? Mustn't forget, strong obligation, non-personal, right? So I can also say you mustn't forget to turn off the lights when you go to bed. You shouldn't forget to turn off as advice. Uh, what other answers can you give? You shall not, right? You can also say shan't. You shan't forget to turn off the lights when you go to bed. Now, why do we use shall here for strong socially binding obligation, right? This is also something that you're required to do, right? But more important answers would be the mustn't one, which is the non-personal strong obligation, and also the one that you said, right? You shouldn't forget to turn off the lights when you go to bed. So advice, right? Two of these would be the major answers that you can supply here. In addition to that, you can also say shan't forget to show social obligations, strong social obligations. Okay, because it's a rule, right? It's more like a rule. Okay, 16th one. When I was a child, I dash understand adults. Now that I am an adult, I dash understand children. Interesting sentence. When I was a child, I dash understand adults. Now that I'm an adult, I dash understand children.
Couldn't.
Okay, when I was a child, I couldn't understand adults. Yes, your lack of ability to understand adults, correct? Now that I'm an
Could.
adult,
I can understand children.
I can't, right? Negation of can, I can't. So both ability thing. Uh, as a child, you couldn't understand adults, and now as an adult, you can't understand children. Both of them pointing towards ability, right? So couldn't and can, correct. Uh, 17. Sally looks sad and worried. She does have a problem with something. Okay.
Might have a problem with something.
What is the answer?
Might.
She might have a problem with something. Again, look at this. Sally looks sad and worried. So this is a situation where you can make a guesswork.
Must.
Must, right? Must. Sally looks sad and worried. She must have a problem with something. Right? So if guesswork is possible, then go for must. 18th dash, I see your passport, please.
Could
This is the
I?
question.
May I?
May I see your passport, please? Could I see your passport, please? Can I see your passport, please? Okay. All of them are right with difference of degrees of formality. Let me check. 19. He,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes,
Ma'am, for 18, if we have to speak in a formal way, then which should we have to use?
if you have to use it in a formal way, you would say, could I see your passport, please? If you want to make it extremely formal, so you're talking to a stranger, you're an immigration officer and you want to check something, then you say, may I? Because you don't know the person at all, right? If there is some degree of familiarity and you still want to keep it polite, you use could. If you're talking to a total stranger, it's an extremely formal situation, then may. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so next one. Uh, he sees very badly, so he dash wear glasses all the time.
He should wear glasses.
He should, or you could also say must, right? He must wear glasses all the time because you definitely can't see. So it's a necessity if you wear the glasses, right? So he must wear glasses all the time. Advice in this case is not appropriate because you already know this person's vision is too poor, so you have to show the necessity of it.
Ma'am,
So he
can we
must.
should hear? So she should.
No, that is what I'm saying. That is just what I explained. That should is not appropriate because this is not an advice anymore. See, this person can't see. So there's no point of advice here. Advice, you still have a chance to choose from. Yeah, I can advise you and you can very nicely choose to ignore my advice. But this is not a situation like that. The person cannot see, so you are basically saying this is necessary. He sees very badly, so he must wear glasses all the time. It's a necessity. You don't get a choice here. Okay. So if there is a choice, then advice and suggestion part will work, should will work, that is, right? Because in case of both advice and suggestion, they're not necessary. They're basically choices that somebody is giving. Someone is basically just suggesting. It's upon you whether you do it or not. But this case is a more necessary situation, necessary condition. So must. Okay. Hmm. Next is I dash take a taxi because the bus was on time.
I need
I
to take
couldn't.
taxi.
I needn't take a taxi because the bus was I
I
okay, so
wouldn't
not
take a
needn't, you will
taxi.
have to say I did not I didn't
Ma'am,
need to
need
take a
to, ma'am.
taxi. Yeah, need to, but it is in past tense, so you'll have to account for that. So you say that I
Okay.
didn't need to take a taxi because the bus was on time. Or alternatively, you can also say I didn't have to take a taxi. That's also correct.
But ma'am, didn't will be not in modal verbs, right?
No, so that is did is not doing the work of the model verb here. It is added so that you can show the tense. Okay. When you use it along with a model verb, it is okay. When you use it on its own, that is not allowed in the context of model verbs, right? Model verbs definitely they can come with did and main verb and all that, and they have to, especially in cases where you have to show text. But if you're replacing model verb with did, does, or do or something, then that is wrong. Okay, in sentences where you have to use a model verb. Using those verbs to show the tense, it is not wrong. I'm saying he didn't, sorry, what is the sentence? I didn't need to take a taxi. So I still have my model verb. I'm using did only to show the time. That's all. So that's not wrong. Okay, so he owns a very expensive house, 21. He dash be a rich person. He owns a very expensive house. He dash be a rich person.
He must be a rich person.
You must be a rich person. Yes, correct again, right? So something is already given and you are making a guess out of that. So the model verb you use will be must. You must be a rich person. Okay, correct. I dash swim well when I was a child. I even won the school
I
championships.
could,
22.
I
I could
could, ma'am.
swim when I was a child. I could use to show ability. Okay. I could swim well when I was a child. I even won the school championships. What else can you use here? You can also say would. I would swim well when I was a child. I even won the school championships. So difference is food is used to show ability. Would will be shown to it be used to show that this was a habitual action, repeated action for this person as a child. Okay? Same as I think one of the sentences before we discussed this. So could or would. 23. You dash go to the grocery store. We have some milk in the fridge. You
You
dash
need
go
not
to the
to.
grocery store. Ah, you need not go to the grocery store. We have some milk in the fridge. Correct. 24th, I dash find my keys. I probably left them at my mother's place.
I can't find my keys.
I
I
can't
couldn't.
find my keys or I couldn't find my keys. Okay. Any other answers? No, right? It's mostly about your, uh, you know, um, your unsuccessful attempt at finding the keys, right? So can't and couldn't can be used. I can't find my keys or I couldn't find my keys. I probably left them at my mother's place. Okay? All right. 25th, you dashed by the tickets. I got two for free from that.
You should buy the tickets.
No. Look at the second sentence. I
You
got two
need
for
not
free
buy the
from.
tickets.
Yeah, you need not buy the tickets. Okay, you needn't or you need not buy the tickets. Okay, so whenever you're using the semi-models and the negative form, no, make sure you use the contracted form. So like you don't say you need not buy the tickets, say you needn't buy the tickets, right? Because remember, semi-model constructions particularly are, or even model verbs, right? They're very abundantly used in speech in our conversations. So in conversations, for English speakers, the general habit is to contract the forms whenever possible. So they don't say you need not buy the tickets, they say you needn't buy the tickets. So keep that in mind. You needn't buy the tickets, I got two for free from you. Yes. 26, she dash speaks so rudely to her parents.
Excuse me, ma'am.
He may not.
She
Yes.
shouldn't.
Excuse me, yeah, ma'am. For 25, uh,
Ah,
can't you use should not? You should not buy the ticket because I got two for free from that.
no. Should is something that is strictly used for suggestion and advice. But even if it looks okay, the sentence that follows it makes it wrong, right? I got two for free from that. So this is basically saying I already have, so you needn't buy. So if you already have
Mm-hmm.
something, then you will tell the person to not buy it. You will not suggest them to not buy it, right? You have more clarity. Since you already have the ticket, why would the person unnecessarily? So you have to be more assertive in telling the person, so you don't buy. You need not buy because I already have it. Should would be again
Okay.
giving them choice, but in this case, you don't have to give a choice. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So 26, she dash speaks so rudely to her parents.
She
She
shouldn't.
she may not speak so rude.
She may not speak. No, this is not a choice. She can't speak so rudely to her parents, right? She can't. So say certainty, right? It can't be her. It can't be this. She can't. She's
She
basically
must not.
saying no, you cannot.
Ma'am, can we use she
Ah,
couldn't? Huh.
she couldn't speak so rudely. No, not couldn't. Couldn't is not
Because can and
appropriate.
could are the same meaning, right, ma'am?
No, no, not. They're not same. They definitely
Like
have different functions. There are, in certain cases, they have overlap, but the negative form of can't is not the same as couldn't. Can't is also used to express certainty, but couldn't is not used to show certainty. You can't use couldn't in that sense. Only can be used to show or express certainty. So yes, you can say uh, she mustn't speak so rudely to her parents. But again, uh, if you use must, then this is a self-imposed weak obligation. So she mustn't speak so rudely to her parents is fine. But given the gravity of the situation, she can't speak so rudely to her parents. That's also a possible answer, but not couldn't. Couldn't doesn't have any meaning that is connected to certainty or, for that matter, obligation. Has got nothing to do with that. So use mustn't or you use can. Both could be okay, but not couldn't. Okay. You can also say she shouldn't speak so rudely to her parents. Okay? That's again, your advice or your suggestion, but it's on the person whether that person wants to follow it or not, right? Shouldn't, mustn't, can be possible options in this case. Okay. Next comes the teacher always tells us we dash cheat during exam. Okay. Now this answer this carefully. The
shouldn't.
teacher always shouldn't advise. Is this really an advice or is this really like a rule?
It's
We
a
must
rule,
not.
ma'am. We
It's a
must
rule.
not.
Mustn't.
It's an obligation. It's a necessity, right? Strong obligation and necessity. It's like a rule. So you have to use the word, the model verb must. Okay. We mustn't cheat during a test. There is no option here, no choice for anybody. This is a rule. So this is a necessity. This is a stronger social obligation. So you're going to use mustn't. The teacher always tells us we mustn't cheat during a test. Okay. 28. I dash stop laughing. The joke was so funny.
I couldn't.
I couldn't stop laughing. The joke was so funny. Can you say I can't stop laughing? The joke was so funny? Yes, you can.
Yes.
You can. You can very well use can't or couldn't both to mean the same. That it was simply impossible for you to stop. Okay, this is not ability, but this is about impossibility of doing something. Okay? I couldn't stop laughing or I can't stop laughing. The joke was so funny. Okay, both could be okay. 29. I dash look at you. You're so dirty. What were you up to?
I won't.
I won't look at you. Okay, not I won't look at you. You can say I. Again, same thing as in, sentence number 20. It is impossible to look at you. So, can't or couldn't. I can't look at you. I couldn't look at you. You're so dirty. What were you up to? Okay. So, to express impossibility, you can use the word can. Again, this is not ability. Okay? Just because we use can or couldn't here, it does not mean that we are showing ability. It's not about your ability to look at something. It's about your choice of not wanting to look at that person. Right? Impossible. So I can't look at you or I couldn't look at you. You're so dirty. Uh, I'm saying couldn't also because this you apostrophe R could be read as either you are or you were, right? Both are possible. If it is read as you were, then you can also use I couldn't look at you. If it is you are, then you can say I can't. So I can't look at you, you are so dirty. I can't look at you, you are so dirty. What will you have to, right? Both could be okay, right? The last one, here I think this should be the last one, I guess. Yeah, this is the last. 30th one. Dash, you turn down the volume. It's too loud.
Can't you turn down the volume? It's too loud.
Ah,
Can you?
okay.
Could
Can you
you?
turn down the volume? Could you turn down the
Could
volume?
you?
Yes. Could you turn down or can you turn down? But somebody also said, can't you? Can't you
Yeah, ma'am.
turn down the volume? Is that okay?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
it
It
seems
is
okay,
okay.
ma'am, because uh,
It is okay. You can basically you're just negating the thing, right?
yeah,
Here you are not giving the certainty meaning. You simply are, seeking the person to say, "Can't you turn down the volume a bit? Right? It's too loud." Right? So again, this question is about: do you not have the, or say, is it impossible for you to turn down the volume? That is the meaning. When I say, can't you turn down the volume? I'm basically seeking from the person if it is impossible, right? What is the possibility for you to turn the volume a bit down? Is it impossible for you? That is what can't you is. Okay? So it's not certainty, it's not lack of ability, it's about the uh, questioning of the possibility of whether the person can turn down the volume or not. So you can say, can't you turn down the volume? It's too loud. Okay. Okay. So this is a bit of some of the questions that you can look at for the model work practice. But then keep in mind, since it is an easy topic, but then still, it can be a little confusing because model works as a separate entity is not found in our languages, right? So English is a little, this part of the topic, the model verb is like a special aspect that you'll see in English. So it is possible that we can go wrong in their usage because we're not used to it in our languages as such. So to try and understand the meaning of each of them, the problem with model works is that multiple answers are possible and they can also look like they're grammatically right, and they could be also because grammatically it's a very simple unit, right? But make sure that you are only answering the model verb or choosing the one which is suitable to the context. In the exams, the context would be mentioned for you, so it should not be a difficult problem. But it will be difficult if you haven't revised it, understanding what the meanings of each of these model verbs are, right? Especially in the cases where there are more than one answers possible, you need to understand what is the difference in each of the meaning when you use the model verbs differently. Okay? So once you have a grasp on this, this is like this is definitely not a difficult topic to deal with, right? So do some practice with this. Download a few worksheets online and try to do some additional practice on this one. And if there are still questions that are not clear to you, or if you think that there's something that you haven't understood in terms of user, then either join the doubt clearance session or write to us on this course so that we can get this. But please keep practicing. Okay. Okay. So that's all for today from my side. If you have any questions, please do. Otherwise, we can call it a day. I'm going to stop sharing the screen with you because we're done with the exercise. If you have any question for me, please do ask, or else I'll close for it. Anybody? Any question? If you don't have any question, you can leave the call. Nothing? Okay, then I'll see you next week again. Thank you for joining in, and we'll meet next week with the topic on if and whether clause and question clauses. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. See you.